Danny Bonaduce live.
Good time was had by all. It's Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Here's the deal. Call me right now. 1-800-252-1025. Love to talk to you. But we'll also take your emails at lifecoach@kzok.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. I believe we'll start this morning with an email.
We will start with an email. It's lifecoach@kzok.com. Barbara in Seattle writes, I had drunken adult relations with a close friend. And now I feel awful about it. How do you suggest moving on from this bad decision while still maintaining that friendship? Is it even possible?
Yes, I do believe. What is this young lady's name again?
Barbara.
Barbara, I do believe this is completely... it depends on the character of your friend. But if it's me, and everybody has kind of their opinions of me, or Will, and even Gibbons on this, these are the three guys in this room. If you confront it right now and you just go to them and you go... I mean, I'm assuming by your letter, because you didn't go into detail, you don't want to do it again. You don't want anything new out of this. You just want to stay friends. I think if you say, hey, you know what? I was drunk. I think it was a huge mistake. I had a little bit of fun. God bless you and stuff. But I just want to be friends. But I make I made a drunken mistake. I'm terribly sorry. I hope it doesn't damage our relationship. I, for one, would say, fine. You know what? Yep. I used to have a rule with my best friends, my two best friends and me, the three, Dave and Scott, where the I was drunk rule. And pretty much it was no matter what you had done. Like if you broke some guy's glass vase that he, had for 100 years in his family or something, they're crushed and you just get to go like this. I was drunk. And you have to accept that apology. Now, I'm sure you don't have that rule or you wouldn't be so shocked to have done this thing. But I think if you tell the guy, and quickly, I've already said too many words. I'm sorry, you know what? We shouldn't have done it. We were drunk. So you want to go out to lunch later or whatever it is, make it sweet and short and get it done. And he's going to be okay with it, I promise. And thank you very much for that email.
This is Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Any kind of problem you have, he's been through it, and he can help you figure out what to do. 800-252-1025. Somebody did call earlier.
I do that all the time.
Got disconnected saying... that she had caught the tail end of your life coach to somebody who had a problem with alcohol in their lives and wanted to stage an intervention. And what did you say is the best route to take when it comes to staging an alcohol intervention? You know what? You can go on the internet and look it up, and it will tell you. Not only that, it will tell you certain things that you should say, like key things that you should say. But all in all, it works out like this. You get family members that your person loves and respects. You get some of his or her best friends that they love and respect, and you tell them the effects that their alcoholism has had on them, and they're usually shocked. I know, you know what, I was shocked to find out that my stupid behavior and being embarrassed and stuff like that had effects on her. They were embarrassed and they were mortified. So that's what you do with an intervention right there, is you get mother and father, brothers and sisters, if they'll do it, if they're alive and stuff like that, you get them, three very best friends, and you pre-write. And there's an interventionist that will do this for you. You tell them to write a page in advance, like the night before, the effects that, I'm going to call him Steve's drinking has had on you. And you all get to read them in turn and tell them what it's meant to you and what it's done to your relationships and your friendship. And that usually comes right across. And then from there, you take them right into rehab. That's almost always the way. This is usually a thing to get their attention so you can get them into rehab. So that's what you do. And here's the thing. You can look it up online, and there's like almost a course, if you will. At this point, confront him with this. Don't be too abrupt. And I think whoever you're talking to will end up going into rehab. I wonder what happens when they don't. Like, that must be so awkward. You stage the whole intervention. You're like, okay, now let's go. You're going to rehab. They're like, I'm going to the bar. I've not
only seen it, I've seen the ones where the guy comes home, opens the door, sees his whole family, sees his friends, sees some stranger with a piece of bagels. And they just went, and the one I've seen, it was on TV, it was just like this one, nope. And they turned around and walked out. So yeah, you got to get them to stay for the intervention. That's the trick.
Boy. If you've got a question for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, 800-252-1025 or email lifecoach@kzok.com. James in Bellevue has sent an email. I'm a 43-year-old single father who has battled clinical depression for 2 decades. It's affected me to various degrees at various times, including long periods of feeling fine and then sometimes feeling pretty low. I've never been hospitalized. I've never attempted suicide, but I'm currently taking 40 mg of Prozac. I have taken smaller doses in the past, but never larger than 40. My ex-wife
It's a fair amount, by the way, if you're listening at home. That's a fair amount.
My ex-wife cites my depression and my needs to be medicated as the main reason she divorced me. Now I'm terrified that if I meet someone else, the same thing will happen. I have many great things to offer a woman, and the depression does not define who I am. At what point, when I meet someone, do I tell them about my depression And do you think that those are women out there who will accept me as is?
I think, yes, I think there's a woman who will accept you as is. Absolutely. But you know what? Don't spring this on it. You know, there are certain things you want to find out about a person. Like if I meet a girl and she turns out to be a pyromaniac, I want to know immediately before I let her into my house and near the matches. But, you know, if you say, well, I'm dealing with serious depression right now, they're going to bail. They're not going to wait around. They don't owe you anything at that point. They're not emotionally invested at that point. So wait. And by the way, you're not here for me to ask this question. 40 mgs of Prozac, according to my books, should make you sexually impotent.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know for sure, but it has severe side effects at 40 mgs. I mean, I've taken it, but I took 5 mgs, and I felt it had almost no effect. But 40 mgs, it says right on the label, has sexual side effects. So make sure to look into that, and maybe that was your ex-wife was talking about. But I think they need to know, they deserve to know, and the question was, when should I tell them about my depression? I think as soon as fit, that they won't just leave you, that they are invested in you, that they see all the other lovely qualities about you that you're talking about. And then you want to say, hey, you know, this thing that you like about me, here's the thing you might not like about me, but I think you'll stick around if I tell you now. So wait a little bit, but this is tricky, not too late. You don't want these girls to feel like you've tricked them somehow. But don't tell them on the first date. Big mistake. But after, once you know they like me, you say, hey, by the way, here's what you're getting into. Thank you very much for the email. I appreciate it.
We've got time for another caller on Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Matthew in Seattle, you're next.
Hey, Matthew, what's up?
Yeah, hi, how are you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you. What can I do for you?
I have a question. My partner and I just broke up recently. It was completely amicable. Both kind of workaholics, and so we didn't really have much time together at night. Everything started focusing toward work. And we've been broken up for about 2 weeks now, and we're riding it out for another month until we have to stay together until our lease comes up next month. And I wanted to know, we're kind of still being in that affectionate stage, and I want to know things to avoid, or if that's completely healthy, as long as things are amicable and there's an understanding things are over, or how to really balance this situation.
See, that's what I want to ask you about. Are things definitely over? I tried to live with my ex-wife while we were getting divorced. She was still my wife at this time. And I thought, I'm just going to move down to the basement. This should be easy. And it was horrifying. And everybody was mad and everybody was upset. Are you sure this relationship is over?
It's mixed signals. Like last night, she said, hey, I really want to kiss you. And I said, hey, don't talk about your emotions. Either act on them or don't. And
God, I can see why she broke up with you.
we ended up kissing and cuddling because I said it's kind of irrelevant if you tell me what you're thinking and then you just don't do it. It's either keep it to yourself or don't. And so there's been a lot of affectionate moments, and there's no fuzziness because we both know it's over. But what I want to know is how to really balance this out. I mean, it feels like it's not over, but we know in our head it's over. It's not going to work again. We've tried to address all of these.
I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. And it's just my opinion, but you're always right. The caller is always right. So I will say this, though. It's not over. This is so not over. Everybody in this room is looking at each other going, how does he not know it's not over? They're snuggling. That's what you ask your husband to do after sex, and he won't do it because he doesn't like you that much. You still like this girl. It is not over. Having said that, ride this out until the lease is through. I was listening to you. You're supposed to ride this out until the lease is up, and then you'll go your separate ways. So I say, because I always say this, if you can kiss her and you can snuggle her, I know you said it's over because I was going to say, well, then you could probably repair this relationship, but you don't want that. But I say you go any way you want to go with this, and the deadline is when the lease is up, and then you go your merry way. And I think this is one of the nicest, most amicable breakups I've ever heard of, and good for you to be able to pull it off there, Matthew.
All right. If you've got a question for the life coach, remember you can always email lifecoach@kzok.com, but we can put on one more caller. It's Sue calling from Kent.
Hi, Sue.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
My question is, my mom is in her 80s. I'm in my 60s. My brother is older than me. And my dad committed suicide way back when I was 7.
I'm sorry.
And my mom's getting senile. And she just told her doctor, who told me, that my dad was schizophrenic.
Right.
And I don't know if it's true or not. And my brother being older at the time, because I was only 7.
Right.
I don't know if I should ask my brother or just let it go. Because my brother hasn't spoken to my mom for years, and they're finally starting to speak again.
Yeah, let it go. I don't mean to jump the gun on this yet, but why? Why? She's 87. Your doctor's a medical professional. Very few people care about what your mother said, but you. I say do that. Do not stir that up. It's you got this, I'm thinking about this with me, Sue. My mom's 90, and I think about this fairly often, the limited time I have with this woman, and that I'm going to use it very well. So this is the same exact thing with you, Sue. You've got a limited time with your 87-year-old, I think 87 you said, your 87-year-old mom. Don't stir up anything that you don't have to. It's a limited time offer, and you don't want her to be, those to be the last thing she remembers you. Make this as easy as possible. And by the way, nobody cares.
Right, what's going to come out of knowing?
Nobody cares that your dad might have been a schizophrenic.
If she's 60, then it's not like her kids.
Yeah, and like I said, your doctor, he's not going, oh my God, a schizophrenic, what do I do? I think, he was curious, thought, I'm going to tell the family on this, but he didn't care very much. So yeah, let it go there, Sue. Hey, I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. It's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.